Walk into almost any shop on Earth. A corner store in Mexico, a supermarket in Japan, a petrol station in Nigeria, an airport in London. Look inside the fridge. Different colors, different labels, different prices. But behind the glass, there's a secret most people never notice. The same company is staring back at you. Not just selling a drink, but shaping supply chains, politics, culture, and taste itself. This is the story of how the Coca-Cola Company quietly became one of the most powerful forces on Earth, and why, in one small, stubborn country, it failed. Welcome to the only place on the planet where Coca-Cola does not rule. Scotland. Coca-Cola started in 1886. A syrup, a pharmacist, a single glass. Today, it operates in over 200 countries, employs 700,000 plus people through bottling partners, and sells more than 1.9 billion drinks every single day. To put that into perspective, that's 1 in every 4 beverages consumed on Earth bearing a Coca-Cola logo, or owned by Coca-Cola. Not just Coke, Sprite, Fanta, Minute Maid, Powerade, Dasani, Costa Coffee. Different brands, same owner. Coca-Cola doesn't just sell sugar water, it sells distribution power. Here's the trick. Coca-Cola doesn't need you to love Coke. It needs you to depend on its network. Coca-Cola's bottling system is one of the most advanced logistics operations ever built. In many countries, Coca-Cola trucks reach villages before clean water. Coca-Cola fridges are installed in shops for free. Coca-Cola negotiates exclusivity deals with retailers. Meaning, if you want to sell drinks, you sell Coke. In parts of Africa and Latin America, Coca-Cola products are more available than government services. During the Cold War, Coke followed the US military. After the Berlin Wall fell, Coca-Cola arrived before Western banks. Former CEO Roberto Goizueta once said, "Coca-Cola exists to be within arm's reach of desire." And they meant it literally. Coca-Cola doesn't just distribute drinks, it distributes meaning. Santa Claus? Red suit, white trim. That image was standardized by Coca-Cola advertising in the 1930s. Olympics, World Cup, music festivals, Christmas trucks. Coca-Cola doesn't sponsor events, it colonizes moments. The goal is simple. When something feels happy, refreshing, or nostalgic, Coke is there. Psychologists call this associative branding. Coca-Cola perfected it. Let's talk statistics. Coca-Cola controls approximately 44% of the global soft drink market. PepsiCo sits closer to 25%. Everyone else fights over the scraps. In some countries, Coke's market share exceeds 70%. In Mexico, the average person drinks 160 liters of Coca-Cola per year, more than water in some regions. Entire towns have been documented where Coca-Cola is cheaper than bottled water. This isn't coincidence, it's strategy. So why doesn't someone just beat Coke? Because they're not competing with a drink. They're competing with a century of brand trust, exclusive retail contracts, refrigeration ownership, advertising saturation, and political lobbying. Coca-Cola spends over $4 billion per year on marketing alone. That's more than the GDP of some nations. Most challengers die quietly, but one didn't. Now we zoom out. A country of just 5.5 million people. Cold weather, strong accents, stronger opinions. Scotland is the only country in the world where Coca-Cola is not the best-selling soft drink. Instead, it's beaten by a neon orange can that tastes like nothing else on Earth. Meet Iron Brew. Created in 1901, marketed as made in Scotland from girders. Iron Brew isn't subtle. It isn't global. It doesn't try to be classy. And that's why it works. By the early 2000s, Iron Brew held over 50% of Scotland's soft drink market. Coca-Cola was second, and Pepsi was distant third. This has never happened anywhere else. Coca-Cola tried everything. Price wars, shelf dominance, advertising pushes. None of it worked. Because Iron Brew isn't just a drink, it's identity, Scottish humor, Scottish defiance, Scottish anti-corporate instinct. Iron Brew ads mocked authority, mocked politics, mocked Coca-Cola-style polish.
We can't right now.
Don't be a can't. You need a can. Don't be a can't. Be a can.
When the UK introduced the sugar tax in 2018, everything changed. Coca-Cola reformulated Coke in other countries. Iron Brew did too, and Scotland lost its mind. Public backlash was so intense that the original recipe was re-released as Iron Brew 1901. Limited edition, higher price, instant sellouts. Coca-Cola has never faced that kind of emotional loyalty. Coca-Cola controls the world through systems. Iron Brew survives through culture. Coke is optimized. Iron Brew is loved. And that difference matters. Because global power can buy shelves, but it can't buy identity. Coca-Cola doesn't just sell soft drinks. It sells water. Or, more accurately, it sells access to water. Across the world, Coca-Cola has faced criticism for extracting groundwater in water-stressed regions. In parts of India, communities accuse bottling plants of lowering water tables. In Mexico, Coke bottlers operate in areas where clean drinking water is scarce, while sugary drinks remain cheap and plentiful. Coca-Cola denies wrongdoing, citing sustainability initiatives and water replenishment programs. But the optics are hard to ignore. When a corporation controls both the problem and the product, it stops feeling like choice. It starts feeling like dependence. Coca-Cola doesn't run governments. It doesn't need to. The company spends tens of millions annually on lobbying worldwide, particularly around sugar taxes, environmental regulations, and plastic responsibility laws. In some countries, Coca-Cola executives have moved directly into government advisory roles. This isn't corruption in the movie villain sense. It's influence. When lawmakers debate health policy, Coca-Cola is often already in the room, quietly, legally, effectively. By volume, Coca-Cola is consistently ranked as the world's largest plastic polluter. Billions of bottles every year, many never recycled, many ending up in oceans, rivers, and landfills. Coca-Cola promotes recycling campaigns, but critics point out something uncomfortable. Recycling places responsibility on the consumer, while production continues to rise. Iron Brew, by contrast, remained heavily tied to glass bottles in Scotland for decades, not because it was greener, but because it was local. Scale creates power. Scale also creates damage. Scotland's resistance to Coca-Cola wasn't accidental. It was historical. Scottish consumers have long favored local brands, national identity, and anti-establishment humor.
Trade all the days from this day to that for one chance, just one chance, to come back here and tell our enemies that they may take our lives, but they'll never take our freedom!
Iron Brew leaned into this perfectly. While Coke sold global sameness, Iron Brew sold difference. In a globalized world where everything starts to taste the same, difference becomes valuable. Scotland didn't reject Coke because it tasted bad. It rejected Coke because it tasted everywhere. So here's the real question. Could another Iron Brew exist? Could a local brand beat Coca-Cola again? The answer is complicated. Coca-Cola is stronger than ever. Its data, distribution, and analytics are decades ahead of most competitors. But consumer behavior is changing. People care more about origin, authenticity, transparency. The same forces that protected Iron Brew are quietly growing elsewhere. Coke still dominates, but cracks are forming. Coca-Cola's greatest strength is also its weakness. It is too big to feel personal, too optimized to feel human. Iron Brew never tried to control the world. It just tried to belong to one place. And sometimes, belonging beats dominance. The Coca-Cola didn't conquer the world with force. It did it with familiarity, with repetition, with access, with convenience. And in almost every country, that was enough, except one. Because in Scotland, taste wasn't just flavor. It was identity. And identity doesn't scale. Coca-Cola still dominates the planet. Its logo is recognized by over 90% of humanity. It will likely outlive most governments. But Scotland proves something important. Even the most powerful corporation on Earth has limits. And sometimes, a bright orange can with a weird taste and a loud accent is enough to stop an empire.
This is my new boyfriend, Jeff.
Nice to meet you, Mr. McGee.
Hey, you too, son.